This is INCRadio DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
To read them throughout the show. Back to you, Sister Macy.
Welcome back to another episode of Explore Mountain States.
That's it for the weather
and
updates.
Moving on to our district news update.
Only here
on INCRadio Mountain States.
Good morning, to all of our viewers and listeners worldwide. You are tuned in to INCRadio Mountain States. Today is Saturday, April 26th, 4:01 p.m. Pacific. Oops, 4:02 na. It changed while I'm making this announcement. 4:02 p.m. Pacific, 5:02 p.m. Mountain Time. And you are watching INCRadio Mountain States, broadcasting live here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And this afternoon, I'm your host, Sister Macy. And joining me is, of course, our very beautiful Ate Nikki. Hi, Sister Nikki.
Hello everyone. Hello, Sister Macy. Happy Saturday.
Yes, happy Saturday to all of our brethren here in the District of Mountain States and to our brethren tuned in worldwide. I know some of you it's Sunday, some of you it's late Saturday night, so we're just happy that you're all here together with us today. Magandang umaga po sa lahat ng mga tagapanood natin dyan sa Pilipinas. And I hope everyone is doing well. Everyone's just enjoying beautiful weather here in Las Vegas. Today, we are going to have a really good discussion here on INCRadio Mountain States connected to a recently held activity from CEA, which I'm going to ask Sister Nikki a little bit about this today. We had an activity from CEA. First of all, please tell our audience what is CEA and what was the previous activity that the District of Mountain States had done for our brethren.
Yes, so CEA is actually Christian Employees Association. It's one of the new organizations that we have here. So last weekend or last Sunday, they actually had this big activity, which they rented out a huge studio to be able to feel like it's a low-key, like a convention for all of our brethren here in the District of Mountain States, where a lot of them who were able to attend had the opportunity to, explore and really get to know about their career development. So basically, it's a networking and career development event. So they were able to get different tips on job searching, how to write a resume, how to be prepared for interviews when you're applying for a job. And of course, networking, getting connections in the different fields that they are trying to get into or they're trying to grow their career in. So very, very beneficial for all of our brethren. I wish I had the time to come there too, but later on we'll be seeing some pictures about that activity, and we'll get to see how beneficial this activity was for all of our brethren here in the District of Mountain States, specifically here in the Nevada region.
Thank you, Sister Nikki. So for our brothers and sisters who are not aware, there you have it. CEA is Christian Employees Association. So it's a great organization for the professional well-being and the professional lives of our brethren, in whichever industry you are in. So if you're interested in that and, you want to know more about this organization and how it can help you or you can be of help in your own professional development, then you can always reach out to the officers of CEA, which is Sister Nikki, led by the CEA president in the District of Mountain States.
I believe that is a brother EJ. So if you see him, he's actually from the local congregation of South Las Vegas. So if you do see him, feel free to reach out to him as well, together with all the other officers there as well. So Yes.
Perfect. Well, shout out to our brother EJ, the president of CEA here in the District of Mountain States. And with that said, our topic for today, as we have already kind of give you an idea, it's an episode featuring career development, which is in connection with the recently held career development activity here in the District of Mountain States. So our topic for today is career confidence. So if there's any one of you out there in our live audience feeling unsure about your career path, don't think that any of this is a setback. It's a sign that we are ready for our own growth. So how do we go about this growth, right? So that's what we're going to discuss, and hopefully will help you. Asking questions means you care, and caring is the first step toward building something meaningful. And you don't need all the answers right away, brothers and sisters. Sometimes this does take a while. And so you just have to have that courage to explore and the openness to learn and the confidence to believe that your path is valid, even if it looks different from someone else. Yeah, thank you, Amira. Okay, so that is what we are going to be talking about. This is exciting because I know that it's a very relatable for everyone. 2 weeks ago, when I was hosting the show as well, we were talking about fatigue, right? And a lot of brethren were like fatigued at work. And now, like, I love that after that, now we're discussing something like this because maybe the fatigue is also coming from, not having that confidence in your career anymore, or like feeling that you need that change in your life. So we are going to tackle those one by one. But first, we just want to address our live audience this afternoon. If you are tuning in right now, but you haven't hit the like, subscribe button, please go ahead and do so. So you're always updated with everything that happens with INC Radio. You can see the shows from different districts and different locations all over the world, and be connected with our brethren. And please also leave a comment, leave your hashtag local congregation so we can acknowledge where you're coming from here in the District of Mountain States. All right, let's see. Our first greeter for today, we have Brother Mario Olca. Good morning here in the Philippines, and enjoy watching here on INCRadio Mountain State Studio. Greetings from local of Brixtonville, District of Caloocan North. Yeah, he's actually the first one. Mario, maraming salamat po. Thank you for tuning in. As always, dito sa INCRadio Mountain States. And magandang umaga po sa inyo dyan. We have our sister Ina Malik from hashtag local of Las Vegas, just saying hello to everyone. She said, let's go MTS. And of course, we want to give a special shout out to our brother Ray Agustin, the CFO overseer here in the District of Mountain States. He's saying happy watching, brethren. So kumusta din po sa inyo, KJ? And I hope everyone is having a great afternoon here in the District of Mountain States. Okay, let's talk about career here, Sister Nikki, right? For some people, career, is easy peasy, right? They have a path set for themselves. For some people, maybe not so much so. There's a lot of uncertainties or a lot of qualms about what they're going to do about it. But for you, Sister Nikki, what's the story? What was your first job? Very first job, actually. Let's start with that.
Very first job, actually, Sister Macy. Before I got in, so this was before I actually studied for what I was going for, career-wise. It was ushering in the event, so I get to see the different conventions, especially here in our area, here in Las Vegas. We're known for having these big conventions for different companies. For them to be able to connect with other people from all over the world. So a lot of people get to visit. So we help them, get to some certain rooms and like that. But during my career, my first full-time job was actually in the height of COVID. If you do remember, like donating plasma is a big thing during that time to be able to produce more vaccines. So I worked in a plasma center, and that was actually very rewarding because I was one of the team members who was able to open that branch. So we learned everything from the very beginning to the end, and how you're going to be able to donate, how you're going to be able to take care of yourself, and how you'll be gonna be able to qualify for donating. So and it was also in an area where it was pretty far from me, and that's the first time where I had to drive somewhere far. It's like a 30-minute drive from my house, so that was a pretty far drive for me back then.
But
But that was that was
first
quite a
job,
struggle.
they serve their purpose, just get you prepared and get you ready for your future career path, those actual career paths that you want to actually accomplish in the future.
Yes, actually, just to share a little bit about that, Sister Mace. After I graduated college, I actually didn't get a job right away. So at first, I was like losing confidence and hope already that, oh, did I choose the right career? Am I ever gonna be able to jump into this career and be one? So for those of you who don't know, and if you're feeling discouraged, I actually didn't land my first ever job for my career until 2 years. 2 years after I took my board. So don't lose hope. Your time will come. So definitely, obviously, in the very beginning, you're gonna be very discouraged because, like, why am I not being qualified? You're gonna get a lot of rejection emails and stuff like that. But um, yeah, I didn't take it as negatively. I took it as I need to do better. I need to do more. I need to keep trying. And when God gives me that my time, when he feels like I'm ready, then I think I'll get that job. So
Yes, sometimes it takes a little while, and that's what rather need to understand. Like, don't be discouraged by a little bit of
mhm.
the setbacks. We answered it later on too. But I did a quick survey before our show today, just so we can see how about for others. What are the common first jobs for others? And we have some career uh channels online, that are for employment if you want to apply for jobs. And they've actually listed through their statistics the 21st common first jobs. Okay, so Sister Nikki, tell me if you ever had this or held this as a job, maybe while you're going to school. So
All
what?
right,
Number one,
let's hear it.
babysitter, which I desperately need right now.
Yes, I think I did babysit, but like not officially, I think, for
So
my
was it
younger
was it
brothers.
a paid babysitting gig?
Babysitting, I got to, but like not officially.
Not official. Okay, cashier is number two in the list.
Ooh, gosh. Actually, I didn't get to, but that was always one of my dream jobs when I was younger.
Oh, maybe this one for you. Lab assistant.
Ooh, no, I didn't get to. Lab assistant. It's actually very interesting because you get to see how things are done in the back, in the back end,
Mhm.
basically. So that's pretty cool. But I didn't get to.
You didn't get to do that. Okay.
Mhm.
Newspaper delivery. I think this might not be common nowadays.
Yeah, not
Most
as
of
much.
people, like for me, I don't like getting newspapers anymore at the house.
Mhm.
Teacher. Were you ever like one of those maybe teacher assistants or
I actually in the Philippines we had this summer kindergarten program
Mhm.
inside the church.
Yes, I
So
remember that.
yes, I was one of the teacher's assistants. So that was one of my teaching kind of experience too.
Perfect. There's also ramp counselors, and I think this number seven would be relatable for a lot. Retail. I think this is a good first job for students, that just want
Mm-hmm.
to get some money for school, or
Mm-hmm.
working students, so that they have something to use while they're going to school. So that's good. Dishwasher is another good thing. I've heard many great stories of having people having dishwashing as their first job, and then eventually after dishwashing jobs now are like managers of restaurants, or some even owners of their own restaurants. So it's
Wow.
actually pretty cool. Receptionist is number nine. Manager is number 10. Wow,
Oh,
I'd
manager.
love to meet people who were managers from the get-go, as a first job.
Mm-hmm.
waiters and waitresses, or servers, as we call them here in the U.S., host and hostess in restaurants, interns. And this is funny because one of the first jobs, is actually a very specific fast food chain, but I'm not going to mention it. So let's just say fast food, barista, store clerk, pizza delivery is also a very popular first job,
Mhm.
lifeguard, and lastly, research assistant. So the different types of career paths that each of these first jobs can lead you to. We asked earlier, did you always know what you wanted to do? Okay, so you had your career, you were licensed 2 years later, you got a job, but way back before you even took up this course, is it something that you've always wanted?
Actually, I always knew that it would probably either medical related or media related. So somewhere in production. So either one of those two. But I didn't really know specifically what I wanted. But as I was, getting older and getting closer to actually choosing what I need to do, if I started working, I didn't I didn't want to be a nurse because I know I don't think I can handle being a nurse. So props to all our nurses out there. We respect you for all that you do. But one of my uncles actually introduced me to this other profession, which is called respiratory therapy. So it's mainly about our lungs, anything that's related to our breathing. But it's more it's kind of a little bit less than nursing. So I was like, okay, let me try that. But obviously, it's you can't really like put two and two side by side because it's such a different specialty for each of one of those. It focuses on two different things, so it does have a kind of a different level of difficulty, or one might say, going through the program or even doing the actual career. But in the beginning, I was just okay, maybe I'll try it. It's something interesting and different. But throughout studying it and actually getting to know how our lungs work, how it correlates with all the other organs. If one thing changes, this changes too. It spiked up my interest in that profession. So thank God that I was able to finish that 2 years. So praises be to
That's
God.
great. I mean, you're still in the medical field too, so that just makes it amazing. And I love that the turning point in your career came while you're actually in it and like
Mhm.
studying it, and then you piqued your interest on it. So thank you, Sister Nikki, for sharing that. Many youth of today are in that position where, because there's so many careers out there, there's so many things that we could be doing. Plus, it doesn't help too, right, that we see it all over social media, how people flex on the things that they do, the things that they experience from their day-to-day lives. We get confused and we're like, okay, maybe what I think I want now, I don't want anymore, because you see all these other options. So try not to get into that whole black hole of like not knowing what to do just because you have these 1,000 different options. We should always like learn to reflect on ourselves and take a look at what we are good at, and where we think we can contribute more to society. And of course, don't forget about the pay, right? That's also very important. You don't want to be wasting your time and not, being paid properly. So anyway, it's very exciting because we do have one other INC Radio crew and guests that have come here and join us on the show right now. We have Sister Princess, and she's here with us joining. She was involved in the recently held CEA activity, Christian Employees Association activity, which is called Career Development. So she was involved in that. We want to hear more about it and also about this organization, Sister Princess, on how it can be of help to our brethren's professional life.
Yes. So Hi, I'm late to the party. I'm happy to join. Well, I attended last weekend the Christian Employee Association networking and career development activity. I'm not part of the association myself. However, I was able to participate as an attendee, and a lot of the brethren who I work closely with in the district are members of the CEA. And so firstly, the Christian Employee Association, a lot of their focus is kind of uplifting and helping brethren either get started in their career or further develop themselves in their career. And this is what the activity was all about. And so the networking portion was to allow the attendees to be able to talk to people who are already established in their career. And so those who are establishing themselves in their career, they can talk to these well-established people, the speakers. JM, he has taught in our CFO, our Christian Family Organizations, a lot about project management. And then we have, people like Sister Macy Padilla. She was one of our speakers. Brother EJ Dayrit, he's a director of internal communications at a company. And so it's all of these brethren who are well established, are part of this organization, part of this association, and they help spearhead activities like this. And so, the networking portion, we were able to talk to them, understand their path that they took, and get some advice from them. Even Brother Jan Arban, he was another speaker. So they had different sections in the program and through the networking. So the networking part was to talk to these people, right? And then the program itself with the career development, there was a portion of speaking. And so with speaking, the program itself, you had Brother JM, we had Brother Jan. They went over, what is important to help you get started in your career. Brother JM talked a lot about our resume, building our resume, what will make it stand out, especially for nowadays, the job market's really hard. And one thing they emphasize is a lot of entry-level positions are going to require you 3 to 5 years of experience, which is wild. And it's also something I'm kind of figuring out right now. I mentioned in past shows, I'm transitioning into a new career field. And with this transition, I've hit my 1-year mark already. And a lot of the roles in project management that I do want to apply to require experience already. And minimum, it's 3 years experience for the roles that I'm trying to get. And so Brother Jam also talked about, for those who are members of the church, we can use our duties to help us be able to showcase our skill sets, right? So as officers inside the CFO or the Christian Family Organization, a lot of what we do is coordinating. We do a lot of project management itself. And so these are things that he highlighted that we can show as experience or as skill sets that we are in school, maybe in college, and wanting to apply to these jobs that they think they don't have the experience. We do a lot of these things inside the Christian Family Organization and within our duties itself. So that's something that he was able to help shine a light to. Volunteer experience as well can be used as experience, and that's something he showed us how to put into sections. And then something Brother Jan highlighted were interviews. Yes, we have a beautiful resume. On paper, we seem like the perfect person for the role, but he said when we're in interviews, our resume comes to life and we show our personality then. How can we make our presence known? How can we stand out? How can we stand out from 10 other candidates? What is it about us that we can do to make sure, hey, I'm right for the role and here's why. And they also talked about, when we're interviewing, how making sure that the company itself that we're interviewing for is right for us. Because when we're interviewing, this is also a time where we can get to know who the interviewers are, who the company is upon our research, and whether or not the role is fit for us. And so it's stuff like this that CEA really helped us with. And we had several booths at the event as well. There was a headshot booth, which, by the way, I had been needing a headshot, and I finally got my headshot. It was a photo booth, and it was really cool because it was self-ran, and so you took as many headshots as you needed, and then it got emailed to you, and then you just use it as is. So I was able to get new headshots screenshots, uploaded it to my profession, and I thought that was a really cool aspect. We got to have Brother Ralph Magliari there. He is a graphic designer, and so he was there handing out business cards. We had so many brethren there who really were able to kind of showcase themselves and show how successful they are and be used as mentors, essentially. There was another booth that I was actively participating in. It was like an elevator pitch booth. There was Sister Tina Caddies. There's so many brethren, but she and I had like a 3-minute conversation. It was so quick, but so informative on how can you sell yourself within the first few seconds of your interview. Like, what can you say in just a few sentences to make sure your point gets across to show who you are, so I truly had a wonderful time, and I wholeheartedly believe in what the Christian Employee Association is trying to establish and trying to help brethren with, especially when it comes to career development. It's so important, especially with the job market right now. It's really not an easy job market for those who are looking for a job themselves, So for the future events that CEA hosts, I highly encourage. This is coming from an attendee, not an association, not CEA's actual officer, but as an attendee. I thought it was an amazing event, and I hope for the following events that more brethren come. I think they had around 70 to 80 people or attendees, including guests, and they're shooting for the triple digits for their next activity. So I really hope brethren will be able to take the time to go, and even if you are establishing your career, just get involved and see what CEA has to offer, see the young minds that are there who are ready to enter the professional workforce, and because they're our future, and we're going to be working with them. So that's my little spiel on the event itself. It was great. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Sister Princess. Thank you for giving us an in-depth review of what went on with the recent Career Development Day that was put together by the Christian Employees Association. And it really tells us how much of an assistance CEA can do with these activities and services to all of our brethren. So just like what Sister Princess mentioned, I hope that we can have more and more of these activities and have more and more of our brethren join in. Anyway, right now, we're talking about confidence here in our show this afternoon. And because we talk about Career Development Day and this kind of activity, part of the building confidence in your career, one of the important portion of it too is networking, right? Making sure that you're not closing yourself up into just this one place that you're in and into the circle of people that you are working with, maybe just your employees in the office. Definitely don't stay in that fishbowl, right? So go to activities like this. CEA put together activities like this, or maybe in your local cities and local organizations. There are networking activities where you get to meet with peers or people from different types of industries, because that can help you learn and gain more confidence in what you do currently and what you might plan to do in the future. Now, Sister Princess, let's go back to you again. I know that you said that you might be transitioning or maybe already in the process of transitioning into a career. You're not alone. Statistics say that 5 to 7 times during our entire work life, 30% of the workforce actually does switch jobs, and also around 30% changes jobs every 12 months. So every year, there are people that are not insured, then switch from one change to the other. And this is mostly seen in like a younger people and younger generation as well. But for you, what was the turning point of what gave you that confidence to say to yourself that, okay, I am ready for a change, and let me go ahead and start a career?
Yes, I think it's always going to be scary when change is involved, no matter what, whether you're in school and you change your major, or you're in your career and then you want to change your career field or career role itself. Even if I was still in education, going from a classroom teacher to anything outside of classroom teacher, a strategist, into our admin positions, change is going to be scary regardless of what the change is going to be. But what gave me confidence, well, firstly, I want to give credit to my mom because I have such a strong support system. And so whenever I talk to her about my thoughts and what I'm feeling, or ask her advice, she's always supportive and telling me, whatever you want to do, you can do it. But the one thing she fully emphasizes, no matter what, is God, right? He is my ultimate confidence source, because I feel like um, I wouldn't be able to do any of these changes without the true confidence that everything is going to work out because God is going to support me. So ultimately, that's where my confidence is stemming from, where it roots from, is through my faith, and through God, because uh, it's just that leap of faith that you have to take, and trust that he's going to guide you and help you make the right decisions. So there's really nothing more to my confidence than that. Sometimes, yes, actually, yes. So I hope that helps. I think I did mention though last week, when it came to my support system, I do have people in my background who I mentioned Sister Angela in my last show, that she yelled at me because she said, what is the evidence you have that you won't be able to do it? Because I was, you, again, when it comes to changes, you express your feelings of insecurity, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not smart enough. So but Sister Angela's like, what's your evidence? And I'm like, it's true, I don't have any evidence that I'm not smart enough to do it. So let's just do it and see what happens. And if I fail, I fail and learn from it. If I succeed, then I grow bossed up. So I think that's the best way I
Love
can
it.
put it.
I love it. No, it's true, right? The best source of our confidence is, of course, the trust that we have and the faith that we have to our Almighty God. I also listed a few things, just to help our brethren, maybe with having a little bit more confident, being a little bit more confident into your jobs. First and foremost is like, you just have to be self-aware. You should know what your strengths and weaknesses are, and then also have some sort of self-acceptance. As a person, you know what your limitations are. As a professional, you know what your limitations are. So stay there. And if there's something that you can't do and you don't know how to do in your job, that's okay. That's when you seek for help and ask questions, and then start learning. Setting goals, and learning how to achieve the goals that we do. We don't just set goals just because, we also need to make sure that we achieve them. Giving feedback and receiving feedback, those are very important. And of course, don't stop learning, right? We build positive relationships and networks, which I already mentioned earlier, with Career Development Day and CEA being one of them. And lastly, the skills that we have, we should practice them. Don't be afraid to show the skills that you have in your professional setting. And most importantly, always maintain a positive behavior, positive attitude. There's nothing more that screams confidence than you being positive, right? But for someone that's always negative, or like always thinking the worst end of situations, then you might come off as definitely not a confident person. So let's just keep that in mind. Sister Nikki, one last thing here, again, career, confidence in the career. What if there's one advice that you could give to any of our brethren who might be feeling stuck right now and are not so confident in what they do? What is it that you can tell them?
I think because I was right there like a few months back too. One thing that I ask myself is, do I still love what I'm doing? Other than like being interested in a certain profession, you also have to love what you're doing and enjoy like helping other people or growing in your career yourself through that profession. So again, do you still like what you're doing even if you have a hard day at work? Like what I've had recently, I've had hard days at work, but I know it's just that specific day, but I love what I do. So that's one of the things that I always ask myself, do I still want to do this? So yeah, just make sure that, like what Sister Macy said as well, you know your strengths and weaknesses. You know how to handle things. You know, you won't be where you are if you're not qualified for it. So don't let one day ruin your 99 happy days, you know, basically. So again, if you're not happy, then that's okay. Again, like what we said in the beginning of the broadcast, it's not a setback. It might just be time for growth. So yeah, just be happy with what you're doing as well.
I love that. Yes. Don't always consider anything a setback, right? Be positive. It would just be, well, before you know it, it's just time to grow. Anyway, career confidence is about inspiring and empowering individuals to take control of their career journey through professional insights, real life stories, and practical strategies. It can help us build clarity, resilience, and the confidence needed to make bold, informed decisions. Whether you're navigating change, stepping into leadership, or rediscovering your purpose, the Christian Employees Association is a space to grow with the intention and self assurance that we need. And with the help of our Almighty God, nothing can stop us from being confident in our career if we put Him first in our lives. Thank you so much for joining our discussion today. And I hope that this have helped a lot of our brethren, maybe put your minds at ease or have given you some inspiration from the advices that we've heard today from Sister Nikki, Sister Princess, on how you can be more confident in your career. There's more activities coming up in the District of Mountain States, as well as past activities that we have had in the past week. So why don't I go ahead and pass this back to Sister Nikki for What's Up MTS.
What's up, Mountain States?
All right, let's get to know our activities for this past weekend. First of all, we had the Las Vegas CWS, or Children's Worship Service Earth Day activity, where the CWS kids watch an INC Kids Adventure video on recreation, and afterwards were served and ate mud with earthworms, which was pudding and gummy worms. That was really fun. As you can see right here, all of our CWS kids having fun eating their mud and earthworms using pudding and gummy worms, as it looked alike, you know. And as you can see, them right there socializing as well, you know, seeing all of their brothers and sisters and sharing all of their fun gummy worms right there. You know, a sweet treat is always fun with our little kids right there. And again, this is for the celebration of Earth Day. They commemorated that for that day. Next, the Light of Salvation, or LOS, special gathering and oath taking was held at the House of Worship of Las Vegas, where a lesson was preached by the district minister, Brother Barrington Thompson. As you can see here, we have all of our Light of Salvation officers who were able to listen to this preaching, and it was very inspiring that they were able to also see some of our new officers get to take oath as they continue to serve and help out in the church, as they continue to have their church duty in the Light of Salvation and all the other duties and officers. As you can see right here flashing on your screen right now, these are all of our attendees for that day. Last but not the least, this is what we have been talking about throughout this broadcast, our CEA, or Christian Employee Association networking and career development. The District Christian Employees Association held a networking and career development event held at the Lotus Studio, where guest speakers presented career development tips on job searching, resume writing, and interviewing, and of course, a networking session with different kinds of booths. As you can see, we had a great turnout in this activity. We have a lot of attendees, whether it's members or non-members, and of course, it was led by our different officers and speakers throughout that day who are able to help us in different specialties or different ways and how we can be ready and to taking on to a new career or even growing your own career. So this is a great turnout. Again, as you can see, a lot of people were able to benefit from this event. And of course, we just look forward to more of events like these from the Christian Employees Association, not only to help those who already have a career, but also to grow our career. As you can see, that is everyone who are able to participate in that activity. We are very grateful for all of these activities launched by our Christian family organizations and the different officers and the leaders who are able to take their time planning these activities for all of our brethren here in the District of Mountain States. That is it for our What's Up Mountain States. Hopefully next week we'll also get to see more activities. But tomorrow as well, we will be having a health seminar activity live via WebEx talking about heart disease. And that will be led by our CMDPS, our Christian Medical, Dental, and Paramedical Society, also led by Brother Ferdinand Tan, who is also an MD or medical doctor. So that's it for our What's Up Mountain States. If I miss any of future activities, Sister Macy, did I miss anything for our district?
I'm I'm sure a lot of our locals have their own activities too that we can plug in here really quick. The local of Las Vegas is going to have an all CFO organization meeting Binhi, Kadiwa, Buklod, and CWS all together in one meeting that is going to be this coming Sunday, tomorrow at 6 p.m. So we hope to see you all there. Time to check in with our live audience. We have Brother Brandon Dalbu joining us. Thank you, Brother Brandon, for tuning in. And he said hello to all the brethren watching in the Mountain States District and all over the world with the heart emoji. Sister Jemima Cancino, also from the local congregation of Las Vegas, is saying happy Saturday po, as well as Sister Ren from #Las Vegas. Thank you so much for tuning in. Las Vegas, really appreciate it. And I was very happy to see one familiar name here. Sister Flo from Oregon is watching us right now. And she said, hello, INCRadio MTS watching from District of Oregon. And she also said, hi, Sister Nikki and Ate Macy. Hello to you as well. Sister Flo, we miss you, po. And we miss you. When is our next get together, right?
Hi,
Please, either you come over here in Las Vegas, or maybe Sister Nikki, Sister Princess, and I should come visit you there in Oregon. Sister Mylene is also tuning in. Thank you, Ate Mylene. She said, my internships opened job offers for me. Isn't that amazing? So don't take internships for granted. You know, we should always give it our best, even if it's an internship. She said, I will also be a graduate assistant this coming fall. And since my long-term goal is to teach, might as well experience it this early. That's great to hear, Sister Mylene, and we wish you all the best when it comes to your career path and the work that you want to pursue. I have full confidence in you, Sister Mylene. I think you can do it. And Brother Ralph Cabeltis also made a quick comment here regarding, you know, when we were asking for tips for to build career confidence. He said, supportive family is gold. #North Las Vegas. That is very, very true. You could have all the right education and all the tools with you that you can use to build your career and have a brighter future. But if you don't have a supportive family, you know, that can be a challenge as well. But I think as long as you have a supportive family and you have faith in God, that you should be able to accomplish anything. Sister Priscilla Batan says, hello po mga kapatid from Rizal. Magandang umaga po sa inyo, Sister Priscilla. And thank you so much for tuning in. Sister Princess agrees with Kuya Ralph abilities 10,000%. All right, because it's very, very true that a supportive family is important. Sister Mylene commented, awesome discussion, very informative. Thanks for all the insights. And there's one advice from Sister Flo here. Thank you, Sister Flo. Pick a career that will help you in performing your duties. That is absolutely right. And that is actually what I had prayed for in my life too, when I was going to school and also trying to figure out what career I want. Is when I do my devotional prayer, I said, it doesn't matter where you put me, as long as this job will always give me freedom to perform my duties, and everything will fall into place. And lastly, Brother Brandon Dabu also gives us a good insight here. be positive in all things, right? We discussed that earlier, to be positive and things will fall into place, and if you put yourself out there in front of your peers and in front of your bosses, your leaders, that you are a positive person, then better things you'll have better opportunities. You'll have better chances in your career, because you could be the best in what you do, but if you don't have the right attitude, the employers also would not want that. So thank you for that, Brother Brandon. That's actually a very, very good tip coming from our brethren. And it is 4:45 Pacific. Where did time go? 5:45 p.m. over there in the District of Mountain States. And I feel bad to say that this is actually the end of our show. So let's go ahead with our thank yous here. Thank you to our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, for providing us this platform to connect with brethren from all over the world. Thank you as well to the support of Brother Angelo Eranio Manalo, our CEO President of CEBSI and the CFO Coordinator. Kuya Manley Anday, our Executive Producer, Brother Barrington Thompson, our District Minister, with our Assistant District Minister, Brother Oliver Canlas. Brother Jay Agustin, our CFO Officer. Thank you to Brother Thank you to Kuya Ron of our district multimedia team, and also to all the avid listeners of INC Radio tuning in with us right now. We really appreciate you spending your beautiful Saturday afternoon here with us on INC Radio Mountain States. And like we always say, this is all the time we have. Thank you for watching and listening to INC Radio Mountain States. Please continue to tune in to INC Radio DZEM 954, and let's say this all together, sisters. Changing
lives through God's
word.
Through
So,
God.
and see you next Saturday.
See you next Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Princess.
Thank you, Sister Princess. So much.